Light can always exist, even in the purest darkness. Before I open this review of Chapter 53 of Record of Ragnarok, please do me a favor and leave your own thoughts on the chapter in the comment section down below. Leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Also, make sure you hit that little notification bell so you don't miss out on any videos that come to the channel. Now, let's get into it. What's up, guys? I got the pencil here, and here we are doing Chapter 53 of Record of Ragnarok, known as the Path of Light. And we have to hop right into this chapter right here and right now, so I'm going to go right into it. So we open up with Heimdall himself declaring that a fierce battle has erupted. With his new divine weapon, Hajun and Buddha are going head to head. It is a sheer battle of wits, skill, power, everything. Buddha is reinvigorated and everyone is cheering for that boy. And I love to see how everyone is cheering, like literally every last type of human there is. From the original great philosophers of the past, to the people of the modern era, to the Buddhist monks specifically, to kings, queens, everybody is cheering for Buddha, even his own brother. And it's great to see how this time, like, the collective cheers of humanity are really doing something. Like, we get to see how Buddha is like collecting all this energy and positive morale and all this stuff from all the people, like many small streams flowing into a great river, and that is Buddha. Like, this reminded me so much of Adam's own moment, where all of humanity was cheering and praying for him and like just wanting him to win, wanting him to do their all, wanting him to just succeed where they couldn't. I love that, and it reminded me so much of that. And the thing is, unlike last time, where Zeus seemed pretty much unfazed by like all the cheering and prayers for humanity or from humanity and all that, who didn't seem to care about any of that because he was too focused on fighting Adam. Not Buddha. Hajun is like, whoa, stop. What the heck is going on? He was at death's door. How can he have this much power left? What is happening? He was completely spent. What's going on? And it's amazing how Hajun, by seeing this, by witnessing like a complete opposite, a break to all rules he knows, someone who walks the path of enlightenment, by seeing someone who is so far beyond him, both spiritually, mentally, and not really even physically, it's breaking Hajun down mentally, which is affecting his physically, which is affecting the very nature of his soul, because we get to see how Buddha's big, dumb, sharp-toothed grin is like going against everything Hajun stands for. And Buddha notices this and he's like, come on now, you're really scared, aren't you? And the two just had this amazing clash where both land wait, no, does he even? Yeah, both land damage on each other. Once again, Buddha gets the more major damage. It's amazing to see how the best Buddha managed to do was take a tiny slice out of his pec. Meanwhile, Buddha had his whole shoulder ripped open. And the thing is, we get to see that while Isami Kondo believes that, whoa, Buddha's going head to head with Hajun, Soji, who apparently has a more analytical eye, is like, I'm not really sure about that. It looks like Buddha may actually be at a disadvantage right now. And we get to see that by obviously the scale of the damage. And Sasaki himself, Big Papa Sasaki, is like, it looks pretty tight. He can't see out of one eye. And he's got a bad wound on his side for sure. At the rate things are going, the odds are pretty stacked against old Buddha. And I love how we're getting this from like the two peak swordsmen, or at least the two peak swordsmen we've seen so far. I'm not sure if there are any more swordsmen in like the human lineup. I think like Leonidas may be a swordsman. I'm trying to think off the top of the dome. Like, are there any more swordsmen that we could have gotten like better clarity from? But, like, these two are the two top tiers, the unparalleled in all creation and the youngest sword master ever, apparently. So it's cool to see how these two masters of their craft are like witnessing these two other, like, I guess masters at their craft go to war with swords, and it's like, I can see one has the advantage while the other doesn't. And we also get to see how Buddha, despite his own bravado and despite how confident he is, his wounds still are affecting him. Like, he hates to admit it, but he's still, to some degree, a living, breathing being. So he is in pain and in agony to a certain degree. And that wound causes him to stumble and stagger for a moment. And Hajun wastes no time. He reels back with another blaze of glory. And the thing is, as he screams divine retribution, Buddha manages to block it just barely, but the sheer pressure, the sheer force behind the attack still manages to like worsen his wounds. Like, he blocked the attack, but thanks to the wounds he already has, it's like his body compressed in on itself and squeezed out more blood. Like, that is crazy. And you gotta respect the fact that the last time Buddha went to block this attack, he went flying and his whole weapon got broken. But not only did his sword manage to stay the course, but he's literally he's literally blocking with not only his hand on the blade, but he's also has his hand other arm up against the sword itself, and he took all that force himself. Like, golly, Buddha, you madman menace. And the thing is, Hajun is super happy because he's like, okay, finally, this is it. This man's about to get gone. And then Buddha, like, manages to, I'm not sure if this is redirection or momentum. I'm not sure what happened here. But in the moment, Buddha flicks Hajun's blade off, wheels back, and then swings. And he manages to take a big, like the mightiest gash outside of the like cut on the arm. No, I'd say this is even better than that. The mightiest gash that Buddha managed to ever get on Hajun is in this moment where he cleaves his chest straight open, and it is amazing because Hajun is like, what in the world? And the thing is, it's amazing because like Hajun couldn't react to that. And no, Hajun has been like straight blitzing Buddha for a majority of this fight. Like, even when Buddha has like had all these different amps and power-ups, Hajun has managed to like block or do something or like defend himself. But in this moment, Hajun is like completely caught off guard by Buddha's lightning quick counter, as Heimdall says himself. And the thing is, Buddha's like, golly, still haven't gotten used to this lack of depth perception. That didn't go too deep. And Hajun is like in confusion, and he's like, wait, what? I put every last ounce of my supreme deity-like strength into that strike. How did I fail? And the thing is, it's amazing how even Ares, a person who's been underestimating Buddha and been like, oh, Buddha's not that strong, oh, I could be Buddha, blah, 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 blah. Like, even he's like, whoa, Buddha is an unfathomable creature, an unfathomable man. And Hermes is like, for once, Ares, you actually kind of spitting, but the thing is, Buddha is definitely going to be the first to reach his limit. He's taking way too much damage. He's done way too much in this fight. And while he is doing some good damage against Hajun right now, unless he has some sneak countermeasure, there's nothing he can do about that. And even Zeus is like, I doubt Buddha has the strength left to take that attack from Hajun when he uses it again. And then Hades, Hades, despite appearing like I think a whole 3 chapters ago, is one of my favorites already. Like, I gotta redo my ranking of the regular Ragnarok deities, bro, because this man already is like, you mindless fools. He doesn't need to take it. All he needs to do is dodge it. And the thing is, Ares asked a pretty decent question. How will he dodge that? And because we get to see that Hajun has like gone for a piercing attack, like a piercing array. Like, he's essentially stabbing the blade at Buddha so many times that he's bound to hit one. But the thing is, Buddha somehow with that singular eye manages to witness a path of light. And due to the lack of having both eyes, it's not perfect, but he manages to dip just a little bit, and he takes a slice right on the top of his pectoral, but he manages to avoid the next one too. He misses. Hajun like probably goes to stab his like rib cage or something like that, but he just gets a gash on Buddha's arm. And for some reason, I really like this look where what Buddha gives Hajun, where he's like staring at him, like he has this like contemplative look on his face. He's just reading Hajun's soul right now, and he has this, I don't know, like, I'm just gonna put the panel on screen. It's a really cool panel to me for some reason. And then we get to see that Hajun's attacks, like as Gear mentions, are just getting further and further away from the mark. Like, the first cut on the shoulder was pretty deep, the second cut on the arm wasn't very deep, and then we get to see that Buddha just straight up avoids one in its entirety. And then Brunhild realizes, like, wait a minute, hold on now. Golly gee willikers, am I witnessing this properly? He's begun to see it, and Gear's like, I mean, yes, he still has one eye, but no, the thing is, Hajun was like an infallible soul. Like, he was pure darkness, and thus Buddha wasn't able to witness it, considering Buddha's future sight works on seeing the light within a person. Once again, a shadow from Kingdom Hearts solos Buddha. But however, due to like all the bullying, both physically and mentally, that Buddha has given Hajun, has sort of like, it's shaken his soul up a bit. Now that Hajun is like unsure of himself, now that he's afraid, now that he has like it's weird to say, an aspect of humanity in him, Buddha can now read it. He's now prey when he was initially predator. And it's great to see how this dynamic shift is so palpable, because we get to see how every single swing that misses, every single time Buddha dodges, his smile gets a little bit bigger and the fear on Hajun's face gets all the clearer. And the thing is, it's not like Buddha's like dominating Hajun in a fight right now. He's just dodging, he's just avoiding, he's just outmaneuvering. Buddha is one step ahead of Hajun, as Ares puts it. And the thing is, I love how he goes back. Like, I know Zero and Hajun are technically apparently not related at all. Like, Zero got consumed, and Zero was essentially just a vessel for Hajun. But in that same vein, I love how Buddha is like forcing the same reaction that he got out of Zero out of Hajun. Like, Hajun's just questioning himself. Why? I'm the demon lord of the sixth heaven, the supreme being in the entire world. One such as you cannot exist in the same world as I. How are you exist? Like, the thing is, Hajun is just at a loss for words. He's so confused right now because everything he's ever believed about himself, his existence, everything that he's ever stood for is being questioned. And the thing is, there's nothing he can do to change that. Because even as he swings to go kill Buddha once and for all, he goes, he stutters. Bro, once you stutter, regardless of whether it's in a fight or a roast battle, bro, it's over. You're done. Leave the stage. You know what? You might as well take that sword and blaze a glory yourself. I hate to say it, Hajun. The moment you stuttered on your divine retribution, bro, that was it. And the thing is, the mangaka, like, these last two chapters in particular, like from Hajun breaking down and exploding to this imagery of Buddha having his head cleaved straight in half, and it was so realistic to the point that every single deity, except for Hades, because Hades is a real one. Hades just, I used to think that Hermes was the big, strongest leader deity of everything secretly, but it looks like Hades is, because even Hermes has like a shocked reaction to what seems like Buddha getting his head cleaved in half, but Hades is just like, I've already foreseen this. I have the death note in my hand and Buddha's name is not written there. Like, it's amazing to see how he's the one who has the most solid reaction. And this panel of Hajun, bro. Oh my god, like this look that he gives. Oh, I need water. I don't have any water next to me. Bro, like, the thing is, there's this massive explosion in the ring, and you just see, you go, woo, divine retribution. Like, I don't care if it's the English dub, I don't care if it's the Japanese sub, like, I need to see this performed live, bro. Like, this imagery of Hajun just having his tongue out and just screaming divine retribution for the win because he thinks he's won, only to realize that man straight missed. Man went from so happy to so confused in a matter of seconds, bro. Like, ain't no way. He's like, huh? And then he gets to see that the Buddha he did slice was a whole after image. Like, the thing is, we gotta realize, Buddha may have just, like, in that moment alone, scaled above Sasuke, scaled above Zeus, scaled above everybody. Because Sasuke, Isami Kondo, Soji Okita, Sasuke's Volun, like, they're all shocked and confused on what they just witnessed. And Buddha apparently managed to, he not only left that after image for Hajun to slice that apparently tricked everybody and their mother, but he also managed to get straight behind Hajun. And the thing is, Buddha straight closes his eyes, readies his blade, and just swings, like, in one clean fluid motion, and cleaves this man, Hajun, in half with great reincarnation sword, Zero. And it just, it's such a beautiful slice. You get to see this big old dumb grin on Buddha's face as he does it too. He's like, Zero, can you see it? This is our path, united. Let's go together. And just boom, Buddha just slices Hajun clean in half. Blade of the celestial eyes awakening, Mahapali Nirvana. And it's amazing because Buddha opens his eyes and he looks so tired, but then on the very next panel, just torn in that, like, blood explodes out of Hajun. This isn't like a clean slice, whereas Hajun just, like, his whole upper body just and falls right off. Blood legitimately just bursts straight out of Hajun, like, to insane, unbelievable degrees. Blood is everywhere, and everyone is shaking. Yo, this In the Record of Ragnarok mangaka, the artist just knows how to draw panels that just get to me because Hermes is in shock and awe, but Zeus has like this look of just like I can literally picture the noise he makes just by the sheer lip expression he does. Ares, no one cares about Ares. Hades is once again like, come on now. Y'all ain't read the script? I read the script. Heck, I wrote the script. I knew this man Hajun was gonna die. Loki is just in like pure shock, awe, terror, and confusion. And even Odin himself is shook, bro. The only two characters that say remotely calm on this page are Odin's white bird and Hades himself. They must have read the script. They must have wrote the script. Like, you can just tell by how calm they are. And the thing is, everyone else is cheering. Like, after that moment of pure shock, Brunhild and Gear, like Brunhild literally picks up Gear in exaltation, like they're so happy. You saw Mikono is throwing both his arms up in the air, like, yeah, and then Soji is leaping up into the air, feet kicked out, super happy. Sasuke has this big old grin on his face, and his Volute is literally fist pumping right now, and Hajun's like, what? And he just proceeds to die. Like, he plops on the floor with as much grace as, I don't know, a guy sliced in half can. And the thing is, as he falls, everyone is in sheer unbelievable shock, and they scream, cheering, happy. Yes, he won. Yeah. And everyone's cheering, super happy. And then June's like, I'm sorry. I simply cannot let y'all do this. And then he doesn't even, because his blade arm got cut off. That's the amazing attention to detail. His blade arm got cut off. So he simply, in his dying moments, mutates his arm into, once again, like the divine heaven-piercing drill. Of course, it's not like to the same scale because he's pretty much dead. But Buddha, like, just barely manages, well, not even barely manages. He's seen it. So he just moves right out the way. And the thing is, we get to see Hajun, after all this, after all of his talk about the perfect soil being the supreme being, he crumbles into non-existence. And it's great to see how, despite Buddha having won, he doesn't seem all too happy at first. Like, he's just looking like, Zero, it's over. And then we get to see some hair and some feet. And we get to see Zero's just like, well, my debt's paid. Time to go into the heavens real quick. And he just starts to run off. And Buddha's like, hey, yo, Zero, like, could you, like, come back, bro? And Zero looks at him, like, he pauses, looks at him and is like, no. Throws both thumbs up, a big old dumb smile, and runs up to, like, the rest of him, I guess. Like, these are all just parts of Zero. This is all Zero's emotions just chilling. So he just goes up with them, and they proceed to dip on out of there. And I think that's so cool. It's nice to see Zero get a happy ending. I'm not going to lie. Like, as much as I clowned on Zero, and as much as I, like, said he wasn't the best of fighters, he still is. He's a cool dude. He's a nice kid. I do respect Zero a lot. He's a tough cookie, that little guy. And I'm glad that his sword somehow manages to stay with Buddha. Like, I thought, like, the moment Zero's soul and, like, all his 7 deadly sins left, the great sword would leave too. But no, it appears that this divine weapon is now Buddha's new divine weapon at the end of all things. And it's great to see that the winner is in fact Buddha. And everyone starts cheering. The Buddha, and the fight was, I think this is the longest fight. Wait, hold on, let me look up, I'll be right back. I'm gonna look up Hercules versus Jack real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, so Hermes versus Jack was like 5 minutes long, but still, this was a really long fight. Like, and to be fair, it makes sense because literally, even the little margin at the bottom, it says Zero Fuku, Arrow, Hajun, then versus Buddha. Like, the whole, even in verse, they recognize that Hajun was a completely different fighter and definitely should have been disqualified immediately. But regardless of that, Buddha still managed to take the win. And I'll admit, this fight was schmacking. Like, I really do enjoy this. I mean, I'm definitely gonna do like a whole separate video. This will be the fight that probably kicks off the little fight review series I've been planning to do for a while, where I just review fights from series, but obviously this one will probably have to be first. And I just love it. Like, this chapter was a great way to end off, like, this, what feels like a multi-narrative saga of, like, Hajun. First, the build-up. Oh, yo, honestly, this fight has legitimately the best build-up out of all of the fights we've had so far, because we had that build-up with Buddha versus the 7 deities at first, then the 7 deities fuse into Zero, and then Zero had his whole revelation moment with Buddha, and then Buddha ends up trying to save Zero from Hajun, but Hajun manages to consume Zero, and then Zero comes back and helps Buddha and Zero working together manages to defeat Hajun. Like, Man, that was a really, really cool way to end the fight. I'm not gonna lie. From the sword to the finishing blow to the final goodbye to Hajun, to everyone everyone's prayers working for once and like actually managing to get them that win. Buddha himself overcoming fate and what feels like fate and destiny itself. Buddha literally fighting against all odds. All of that was super duper cool. I love it. It was great. Overall, this chapter, once again, was another 10 out of 10. The artwork, once again, no artwork was caught lacking in this chapter. Like, the mangaka just must have, as they were simultaneously making both these chapters at once, because these things did release back to back, they must have just simply heard me and were just like, you know what? I'm not letting that Buggy Boy happen again. We're just going to hit him with pure peak art, pure 11 out of 10 art. And they obviously did. And the interesting thing is, this leaves me in questions now, because obviously, one, we need to know who's next, because we're back at that point where we have no idea who's going to battle next. Like, we knew during Shiva versus Raiden that was going to be Buddha versus like at least one of the 7 deities, but now we're sort of in like a restarting point, and it makes sense because now with Buddha having won a victory for humanity, the score is 3-3. We're tied up again. And initially, while the gods could have taken a massive lead here by getting a 4-2 lead, they actually are still they're now 3-3. So it means the lead could go back and forth. Like, if humanity somehow manages to take another dub, take a lead on the gods, I'm not gonna lie, that'd be a little bit hype. I think though the next fight may just be Buggy Boy, and I think that has to do with the fact that he was revealed and we know he's one of the fighters up to this point. Like, the thing is, they wouldn't introduce one of the next major fighters if he wasn't going to fight next. I doubt he's going to sit out for a few more rounds, especially considering his creation, Hajun, was just destroyed in front of him. He may not fight for Hajun out of like a sense of, oh, you killed my son or something like that, but he may just fight because like, wow, that thing failed. I guess I'll do it myself. And I'm super excited to see that. I'm excited to see the aftermath of this, because like a lot of the other deities had like people, or basically the other winners of the fight, they had something to say afterwards, and I'm excited to see what Buddha has to say. He may go to the other 3 great philosophers and actually speak to them for once. He may go and like just go like dap up Brunhild and be like, told you I got your back. He may he may throw a middle finger up to Zeus and be like, how you like that, old man, or something like that. I feel like he could have so many different reactions to the end of this fight, because the way he holds up his finger in pride at the end is really, really cool. I'm super excited to see what happens next. Yo, that fight doesn't make any sense. Like, I feel like Nikola Tesla versus the established version of Buggy Boy right now makes sense. I was about to say, could Soji go up against Buggy Boy? Could that be the next fight? I hope not, because I feel like Soji would have to get jobbed for that. I do not want Soji to get jobbed. But overall, this chapter was just amazing. Once again, from character to the finale of the fight to everyone's reactions to the artwork, everything, 11 out of 10 chapter. I love it way too much. But that's what I think. Please tell me what you guys think in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This is Zach the Pencil, writing off.